Hey everyone, and welcome back to That Engineering Girl. Today we're going to be starting a series based on my design course that I'm taking this semester, and we're going to be going together through the design process, which is essentially from brainstorming to an actual functioning prototype. So the way a design course actually works is just that, going from brainstorming to an actual functioning prototype. My team and I, we're currently in the brainstorming phase, and we're currently mulling over the ideas that we most liked out of all the ideas we all proposed, and we're actually going to be making the final decision on which idea we are most excited about and actually want to commit to working on this semester today. And that's where today's episode comes in. So today we're going to be doing some research on the three main ideas that we all were most excited about in terms of resources, budget, time, and if we're going to be able to develop a good MVP halfway throughout the semester. So let's put up the hair, grab some headphones, and get back to the desk. Let's get into it. Alright, so I'm back and I'm going to quickly summarize the three main ideas my team and I really liked, which are the ideas that we're going to be researching today. So the first one is an autonomous RC car, and essentially why I say RC car is because we're going to be treating it like a micro prototype of a fully fledged autonomous car. We haven't really thought about what features we'd like to have in it, but that's exactly why we're doing research. So first idea is an autonomous RC car. Now, the second idea is a smart home automation device, and we were particularly thinking about hacking a regular old coffee machine and hacking it to actually integrate it with an app on your phone, which would alert you when your coffee or tea or whatever is done, and that would save you approximately 3 minutes every single day, which is blissful. Now, the third idea that we were thinking of is a lip sync robot. Essentially what this would entail is a bunch of LED matrices connected together, which would then display some sort of facial automation, which would be synced with some audio input that we're giving it, or potentially text input, which is something that we still need to talk about. But once the audio is inputted, it would actually integrate the facial animation to the audio such that you would be animating the voice that was inputted. And the practical application of that would be to help the hard of hearing to learn how to lip read and so on and so forth. So with that summary, let's start researching. So we're actually going to start by researching the autonomous RC car. So I'm going to play some piano and actually start by researching some reference designs. Alright, so I just finished researching the autonomous RC car, and good news, there are a lot of reference designs, so that's perfect. A lot of people have done kind of driving an RC car, well, an autonomous RC car that's been trained by neural networks and computer vision around a pond or a simple obstacle course. That's, I think, a really good starting point for my team and I. I'm sure we would want to do something more complicated, perhaps. Maybe building upon the MVP. Perhaps the MVP could be, driving around in a circle, maybe following a straightish lane, something along the lines of that for an MVP, and then the final product could do something a bit more fancy, in my opinion. But in terms of cost, it seems like there is a large variant, so from $100 to $300. So that is something to, discuss with the team. Hardware requirements seem pretty moderate, so Raspberry Pi, controllers, obviously an RC car frame, cameras to take pictures if you do computer vision to complete this project. Some soldering is also involved, so that makes complete sense to me. Software requirements, pretty basic for an AI/ML project, so Python, TensorFlow, and OpenCV technology, so that makes sense to me. I'm vaguely familiar with them, not 100% sure, but definitely could learn. But essentially, they would be used to apply machine learning and computer vision, which is something that's super interesting. So overall, my view of this project is I personally really love this project, and I would straight up love to do this semester. So let's see how it goes with the team. But in terms of time, it doesn't seem outerworldly hard, and it doesn't seem so easy that we would finish it in a weekend either. So it seems kind of like a good balance of what we're looking for, so hardware and software combinations and so on and so forth. But yeah, now we're gonna move on to the smart coffee machine. Alright, so I finished researching the second project idea that we had, which was the smart coffee maker. And unfortunately, I'm very unexcited by the idea once I researched it. And why that is because while it'll make my life much more easier, it's not a very good project to learn from. And why I say that is because one person did it in under an hour. One person did it with simply using a switch with a pre-built app. And so it seems like there are a lot of solutions already on the market. And even if my team and I actually took on this project, a lot of the work would be on the software side, so maybe building our own app, integrating it over Wi-Fi and so on and so forth. And we would use a very basic microcontroller connected to the actual coffee machine to connect everything. And that doesn't seem like a project that'll make us learn and grow, and it's definitely not the type of project I know my team and I are looking for, because we're specifically looking to be challenged and, bang our heads against the walls in frustration. That's when you know you have a good project. So I'm not feeling this project necessarily. The cost is minimal, which is a good thing. Time, like I mentioned, extremely minimal, which is also not good because we want a project that will take us approximately 2.5 months to complete. So with this having been done in under an hour, that's not looking too good for this idea. On the plus side, there are a lot of reference designs, so that is good because it's always good to have reference designs. And so that's my overall impression of the project, that it seems very easy, and it's probably not the type of project that we're looking for, in fact. So now I'm going to move on to the lip sync robot, which is the robot that would be practically implemented to help the hard of hearing. And so that's the project that I mentioned, that we would be syncing facial animations with audio input. And so let's look into that and let's see how difficult and feasible that idea will be. Alright, so I just finished researching the third idea, and my overall impression is that it's going to be extremely complicated and difficult to implement this type of project in the timeline that my team and I have, which is approximately 2.5 months. There seem to be a ton of abstracts and papers on face animation corresponding to audio input, but nothing substantial, no type of, fun DIY projects and so on and so forth. And so having to scavenge through all those papers to find anything even relevant is going to be a huge time commitment, not to mention the learning curve that's going to be associated with learning all the different machine learning models and understanding what this project even requires of us as a team. So my overall impression is it's going to be extremely intricate and complex and probably above our pay grade, and 2, it's definitely more of a software project than a hardware project. The only hardware probably involved in this project is going to be displaying the face animation on the LED matrices that we're planning on syncing the face animation to. Other than that, everything is software based, which is probably not what my team and I are looking for, because based on some of our previous conversations, we're looking for a good balance between hardware and software. So that's my overall impression of this last project. And so out of the 3, my favorite is personally the autonomous car. I think it's most relevant to my personal interests. I think it's a very good balance between hardware and software, and it's definitely doable within the timeline that we're given, but it'll still challenge my team and I to work for the final prototype. So that's going to be probably my vote in the meeting today, but that's us doing our research together, and I hope you enjoyed watching me kind of type away. So the next thing is I'm actually going to take you guys along with me for our meeting today. I didn't mention this initially, but I'm actually in fact the PM of this project. So PM stands for project manager. And so essentially what the PM does is take care of the project, ensure the schedule is on point, you guys are meeting due dates, and they keep their eye on the final ball. So the overall project scope, and understand kind of the constraints and requirements, and if the project is actually making progress and moving forward towards the final deadline. So that's kind of an overview of my official role. I'll definitely be helping out more so on the hardware side than the software side, just because of personal interest, but I'll definitely be helping out in both the hardware and software and documentation even. So I'll be taking you guys along with me for the meeting that we have today to decide the final idea. So we're going to time jump to then. Alright, so I'm going to start the meeting. Hey everyone, so my team and I, we just finished the meeting and we ended up deciding to do the RC car. So yay, my personal favorite. So with that being said, I'm going to be taking you guys along with me this semester then as we build the RC car from an idea to a functioning prototype. With that, see you next time.